before actually going for the presentation. Right now, the vegetable crops, especially in the horticulture the sector, is one of the prime area. Really, we have to find newer technology for the benefit of the farmers. So why I'm saying is the newer technologies, the farmers who are going to adopt are the small and marginal farmers. The real output in terms of income is the prime and foremost criteria that has to be considered as far as the small and marginal farmers. So how best the university technologies and the varieties that can be taken forward to the farmers field is one of the area really we have to be very, very careful in developing the newer technology. And also the technologies what we generate should be of the farmers friendly, and also it should be cost effective. So it should not involve large amount of labor, because labor is the highest and the costliest input nowadays. So to reduce the cost of labor and to improve the level of the yield and productivity is the prime and foremost area, especially in the case of vegetable crops. In that respect, so there are several technologies available, and the several institutes, the ICR institutes and the state agricultural universities are developing newer technologies and varieties. But how best this are going to be adopted in the farmers field is the important concern, especially for the farming community. So in that respect, we have initiated this particular grafting technology that we have actually seen in Korea and also in China. So they are all about 80 to 90% of all the vegetable propagules are from the grafted material. So irrespective of all the vegetables, starting from all the Solanaceous vegetables and Cucurbitaceous vegetables, they have found out the suitable rootstocks, and that has been commercially exploited for commercial utilization. So that actually we have seen from that countries, then that would be how best we can utilize those technologies in our system. So that was the one we have initiated this work as early as 2008 and 9. And by about 2014, we have come out with the grafting technology of brinjal. And right now, the technology has been perpetuated into the farmers field. And really the output is very, very significant. We have conducted several demonstrations, and the Director of Water Technology Center, he has absorbed most of the material, and he has helpful in transferring the technology to the farmers field through his schemes. And besides, KVK also is one of the system wherein we can take this particular technology to the farmers level. So in a simple terms, I would say now at present, there are about 20,000 hectares of brinjal being grown in the state, that is in Tamil Nadu. So by using this technology, we can, whatever the productivity which we are getting it now can be obtained in 10,000 hectares itself. That means, in other words, the 10,000 hectares can be utilized for other purposes. Any other crops can be cultivated, or any kind of other conservation of water, conservation of inputs, and conservation of manpower used for the 10,000 hectares can be utilized for other purposes. So in that, considering that area, really it is a significant and the most useful technology. And besides, it is a cost-effective technology. So that is the one we have to be very, the technology can take it taken to the farmers' field. So in that respect, I'll be narrating what different the kinds of advantages and what are all the farmers why they are observing this particular technology at a faster rate. So those things I'll be presenting in a few slides. So here, the most of the problem is nowadays is the salinity problem. Now, because in the mainland, especially in the interior part of the state, where the water is being taken from more than about 800,000 feet. So it is all pumped through the system through the hydraulic system, that is pumped through with the force, air force. The water is being taken from 800 to 1,000 feet. So when that kind of the irrigation water is taken from the lower, deeper layers, it also carries a lot of the salts and the other the calcium like magnesium and different the salts are being taken, and it is pumped into the water through the water, and it is being taken to the farmer's field. So this when this is continued over the years, what happens is the soil becomes unsuitable for crop cultivation. So it is a system wherein the salinity is being accumulated in the soil. So that becomes a serious problem, especially in the interior part of the state. Then other important the biotic factors are the root knot nematode infestation and also the fusarium in respect to all the vegetable crops. So these are all the problems that is being observed, the noticed in the farmer's field. How best this particular grafting technology can be useful in managing this kind of salinity, root knot nematode and fusarium wilt. And besides, in some areas, we have the bacterial wilt also. So those things are can be very well managed by using this particular grafting technology. So this technology, especially in the case of brinjal, we have commercialized, and this after several experiments, we have found out that the particular rootstock used for this purpose is totally immune for the root knot nematode, and also totally immune for the fusarium wilt, and totally resistant to the bacterial wilt. So these are all the advantages, and there is no need to have any control measure being adopted in the farmer's field, especially for these biotic these stresses. So that is the advantage over the existing, whereas in the case of brinjal, it is totally susceptible. It is all, we have to take out for root knot nematode, we have to go in for neem cake application, and also carbofuran application that has to be periodically applied in the soil. That is also not only making a problem in the soil, but also it is all translocated through the plant system and it is taken to the produce. That is a serious concern. We have to note it. And this particular, the fusarium wilt diseases also is a serious one. There is a mortality of the planting material, and the gap occurs in the period of 3 to 4 months. So to manage this kind of root knot nematode and fusarium wilt, the Tarvum rootstock is totally resistant and immune, and that can be utilized as a, there is no need to have take any kind of control measures for this when the grafted brinjal is used. So these are all the advantages over the regular brinjal. So the technology is very simple, and we have perfected, and we have also conducted several experiments. And based on the experiments, what we have concluded is that nothing is translocated from the rootstock to the scion or the fruits. So that is the confirmation we have made through all molecular analysis, and no solacidin is being translocated from the rootstock to the scion, and it is not, no polyphenol is being translocated from the root system to the top the portion, that is scion portion. So what kind of vegetables that can be amenable for the grafting technology? Now we have perfected the technology for brinjal, and the technology perfection is in the process in the case of tomato, and also in the case of chilies. Also, we have come out with the graphs. I will be showing the photographs, and we have also found out the chilies, chili rootstock. And in the case of the cucurbitaceous vegetables, and some of our research work has confirmed that for bitter gourd and cucumber, the several research work has been conducted, and also including bitter gourd. So we have also shortlisted the rootstock used for the different purposes, different vegetables, especially for the cucurbitaceous vegetables. And these are all some of the areas, and research work is being taken up at different stages, and they are all in different stages of evaluation. And I'll be giving now a short note on what are all the other aspects of the grafting technology that is being simultaneously, it is empowered in the Department of Vegetable Crops. So that is also, I'll be highlighting few points that will be very, very interesting. And all the scientists who are all viewing this particular the presentation, they can see that the potentiality of this these newer generation technologies. So that is the one I'll be giving in the last few slides. So the recent advancements in the case of brinjal and also in the case of the chilies. So that I'll be highlighting that one. And some of the constraints in brinjal production. So that also the yield loss we have been noticing from different kinds of the diseases and also the other kinds of the drought stress. So the another important area of the interest is the extension of duration. See, the vegetables, normally the brinjal is grown for not more than 4 to 4.5 months. But the brinjal through the grafting system, it can be grown up to 1 to 1.5 years. So that extension of duration, that is ratooning, is also possible. Once the crop is over, the first crop, it can be ratooned at a height of about 1.5 to 2 feet. So that is the advantage over besides the regular root and root diseases and the nematode. So the extended duration and the perennialization of the vegetable is also possible, just like our the mango and also the other crops, sapota crops. This also can be maintained as a perennial plants. Even the household also we can maintain these kinds of the grafted brinjal and grafted chilies. So these are all some of the rootstocks initially we have tried. The Solanum tarvam, Solanum viarum. There are also the brinjal is native to the India. And so several these species are available, and how best these species could be exploited. So there are more than 10 or 15 the Solanum species are available, and it is spread over almost all the parts of Tamil Nadu, and we have collected all the different types. Here one of the important the thing what we have found out is that it is all highly drought tolerant. See, any kind of the irrigation cycle also can be extended. So the water conservation is also one of the important area we have to consider here. So these plants, it is all mostly present in the graveyard. So it is all highly drought tolerant, and there is no much irrigation is not required. And the root system is so deep, 4 to 5 feet, the root system is spreading, and the deeper layers also it goes. So the water conservation, once in 7 days irrigation can be extended 10 to 15 days, the cycle irrigation in the case of normal system of cultivation. When in the case of drip also, we can minimize the water for the grafted brinjal. So that is the advantage over the existing regular system of cultivation. So this is a simple wedge method of grafting, and anybody can know it. It's similar to all kinds of fruit crops. So here the species is a little different. Solanum tarum is the rootstock, and brinjal on the top is the scion. So in the Solanum tarum itself, we have 4 or 5 the native idiotypes are available. In that, we have taken the very the compatible and conducive system of the rootstock. So that we have identified, and we have found out that the wedge system of the grafting methodology is the best system. And so far in the horticulture, the Coimbatore, 3 lakh grafts are produced and given to the farmers. So that a separate system is working here. And through the manual grafting methodology, the grafts are produced, and just like the machine, we have provided the platform for the workers. Per day, they are producing about 800 to 1,000 grafts every day. A single woman labor is producing, and the total technology has been perfected. And the technology is very simple. It is only the small the wedge is made in the rootstock, and the top. The scion is grafted, and it is placed in the chamber, grafting chamber, for providing the sufficient humidity for reducing the transpiration rate. So that is the simple technology we have perfected. And right now, when you compare the system of yield, it is amazing. Normally, the seedlings will try to provide around 2 to 2.5 kgs of fruits. Whereas in the case of grafts, up to 10 kgs you can harvest in both main and ratoon crop. So that means you can imagine how much potential this graft possesses, and also how much yield improvement that can be achieved by using this technology. In simple terms, as I already indicated, instead of growing 1 acre of regular brinjal, if you grow in a half an acre, whatever the productivity you are expecting in the 1 acre brinjal, so the same can be achieved in half acre. So this is in simple terms we can explain to all the farmers, and we can convince the farmers. Once they follow this system, definitely they will not again go for the normal seedling planting system. So that is the advantage, and that is the yield improvement and productivity improvement in terms of the brinjal grafting. The extended duration, that 10 months to 12 months, it can be maintained. So that is the overall the technology that we have perfected here, and the spacing. And actually now the original schedule what we have found out is that 1 meter into 1 meter spacing and accommodating about 10,000 plants per hectare. Now we have increased the spacing because the size of the plants and the canopy is the spreading more than 1 meter. So we now increased to 1.2 meters into 1.2 meters spacing, and it actually accommodates around 8,000 plants, 7,500 to 8,000 plants in 1 hectare. So, and here no, because we have to allow the plants, no, because of the yield per plant, the staking is important here. So the compulsory staking must be provided for the grafted brinjal. Otherwise, no, it will not tolerate the crop load. So that much the thing that we have identified here. So the staking is important here. And the manual dose, no, double the manual dose is provided for the main crop, and also if it is grown under drip system, that regular manuring and the regular the top dressing of fertilizers is important here. So I would like to share one of the important thing here. The important thing is that, so now this is the Solanum tarvum grafted plant. Now we have found out a super rootstock. So this is actually, no, it is better. No? The Solanum tarvum is double time it is yielding than the normal brinjal, and it is also ratoon. Now we have found out another rootstock that we call it as a super rootstock that actually yields around 14 to 15 kgs per plant. So that means that is the another the advantage over the existing Solanum tarvum. So that is a different species, and that we have identified, and that is robust, and the growth performance is very improving, and the better over the Solanum tarvum. That trial is also underway, and probably that the super rootstock will replace the Solanum tarvum in due course. So that system of the experimentation is also going on. Here I would like to have another the important contribution in this the Solanum tarvum, and also the seed germination of Solanum tarvum is very difficult. Actually, 1 kg of the Solanum tarvum seed contains 10 lakh seeds. 1 kg of Solanum tarvum seeds actually contains 10 lakh seeds. But the germination percentage, if you work it out, it is less than 2 to 3%. So so because of the problem in the getting the Solanum tarvum rootstock, now we have made a different system of grafting technology that actually we have given it for patenting also. So what the technology says is that, no, taking a small pencil size the unrooted cuttings of the rootstock, and the same size of the brinjal cutting, and a small the portion is incised, and both are tied with a clip. So simultaneously both rooting takes place, and simultaneously the healing takes place, and simultaneously sprouting in the scion takes place. So that system, with the use of the different growth regulators, we have perfected, and that actually I am not showing it here, and that also we have developed the plants, and that performance is also similar to the Solanum rootstock. So that means any quantum of the planting material can be obtained within a 40 to 45 days. So the same 45 days to 50 days, any quantity of material can be produced in a mist chamber with the 100% humidity, and along with the system of growth regulators. So the planting material for 10,000 hectares also can be produced with this is a rapid multiplication technique. In this technique, we can produce any quantity of planting material. That also it is simultaneously it is going on, and that once that comes into the regular practice, there won't be any problem in giving the planting material to the farmers. So that is also simultaneously we are working. After the finding out the Solanum tarum as a rootstock, the second is the super rootstock we found out, and the simultaneous rooting, shooting, and healing process of the Solanum tarum, the rootstock, and also the Solanum, the regular brinjal shooting. So this is simultaneously, parallelly, we are conducting research. And once this technology is perfected, and still the cost can be reduced, and the farmers will get benefited out of this particular grafting technology with respect to brinjal. So this is the parallel research work is being carried out. And with respect to bitter gourd and gourds also, some of our PhD students are working, and they have submitted the thesis. And we have found out some of the rootstocks are, the performance is very encouraging. And here also, our main objective of this particular the technology is particular technology is that the controlling the root, the soil-borne diseases and also the pests. So that is the major objective. Once the rootstock is identified, definitely we need not worry about the soil system wherein the root knot, nematode, and other problems are being encountered in the field level. So the identifying the super the rootstocks for the bitter gourd is also the underway, and the initial the observations are very encouraging. And these are all some of the symptoms of Fusarium wilt disease and the root knot nematode. If this much of infestation is there, farmers won't get anything out of this particular the bitter gourd cultivation. So that also we are working on that, but this has not been commercialized. In the due course, the commercialization will be taking place. So here the technology is little different. Here we are adopting two types of grafting. One is side grafting. Another one is the whole insertion grafting. So side grafting is mere the rootstock. No, we are removing the only retaining only one leaf, and in the scion only the part of the leaf is retained, and a small clip is the used for the holding both the rootstock and scion. Here also the technology has been out of the two different technologies for our system, the side grafting is found to be suitable. So this is also in the process. So these are all different grafts produced out of the bitter gourd graft produced in the chamber. So another crop is the interesting crop is the cucumber. Cucumber also it is susceptible to root knot nematode and Fusarium wilt. And for that, now we have found out that fig leaf gourd it is available mostly in the case of the hills, and also pumpkin also can be used as a rootstock, and the Cucurbita maxima also can be used as a rootstock. These three rootstocks are moderately resistant to the leaf, the soil-borne diseases of Fusarium wilt and also the nematode. So this also the one of the scheme we got it, and out of that scheme we have shortlisted the three rootstocks, and this can also be continued. Once it is continued, definitely that the grafting for cucumber and bitter gourd also will be coming out as a newer technology. So another, I was mentioning the whole insertion grafting. In this, a small hole is made inside and the scion is inserted. Here there is no need to have any kind of clipping, just inserting the top portion of the scion and making a hole in the rootstock and just inserting inside. Also will the healing process and also the process of union takes place without any problem. So mostly in the case of China and Korea, they are going with the whole insertion technology. But whereas in the case of our system, we found out that the side grafting is found suitable, and that is actually the union is perfect, and there is no problem in the growth of the different growth of the bitter gourd and also the the cucumber. So only then we have shortlisted these two the rootstocks for cucumber and also the bitter gourd. Further confirmation of the compatibility and evaluation also we have made, but the large scale trial we have to take up, and based on that, this technology also can be commercialized for the farmers. Next one. Yeah. Yes. So this is the one grafted the grafted with the hybrids, that is NS408 hybrid cyan grafted onto winter squash. So the small the notch is noticed here, and here also the season, no, 2 seasons it can be grown. So these are the two root stocks we have identified, and those root stocks are further under a different confirmation trial. So the next one. So coming to the tomato. So here also we are quite successful, and we have found out a suitable rootstock, and it is highly drought tolerant, and we have found out the rootstock is highly amenable, and the compatibility studies also we have undertaken. And here also we have studied different rootstocks, and we found out that the Cisimbrifolium is found to be more the suitable, and those rootstocks and further confirmatory trial is undergoing for the commercial, the establishment, and also the performance in the field. Here you can see that the root system is very, very, very perfect, and it is very robust root system. And you can see in that in the first the slide how much root it has coiling of root is noticed in the polythene bag. So simultaneously we have to generate all kinds of technology, not only grafting of finding a rootstock. We have to find out what is the plant spacing, and whether it is amenable for tuning, or how what kind of the tolerance or resistance level in the soil-borne the diseases, and also for the nematode, and how much it can tolerate the drought and water the deficit studies also we have to undertake, and the spacing studies we have to undertake, and the presence of the aerial soil-borne diseases and pests. So these are all the things that we are, I think, no, 70 to 80% we are successful in tomato, and the field scale evaluation with the identified rootstock is to be conducted. So these are all the studies that has been undertaken with respect to tomato. Similarly, the interesting one is the chili. Chili, no, I am quite confident that next to brinjal, we can come out with the chili grafts. Now, here no different species actually we have identified, and the best type we have identified, and the perennialization of the chili grafts also can be made similar to the extension of duration in chili also. We can make the rootstocks are ready, and the compatibility studies we have done, and the compatibility is very perfect, and union is also very perfect, and the extension of duration and the yield level we are assessing right now. No, you can see the plant. No, how best it actually it is more than about at a single harvest you can harvest about more than 40 to 50 fruits. So that much the potential that perennial rootstock is possessing, and definitely we can, next technology it is coming to a field will be the chili grafts. So that is one of the area of interesting. And the another one is the area is Manatakali. Can we make Manatakali into a perennial one? Yes, it is possible. Now we have made the Manatakali, it's an annual plant, and we can maintain it for green purpose. You can maintain it for 4 to the maximum, you can retain it for maximum 3 months. Here, this can be maintained for more than a year. So that means if 2 or 3 Manatakali grafts are planted in the household, you need not go and purchase this kind of the Manatakali. It is all profuse, and the rootstock is very robust. For Manatakali also we have found out the rootstock. So these are all some of the areas. It is all quite interesting. And in Moringa also we have identified the suitable the perennial rootstock and putting an annual one on the top. So you need not go in for this kind of the perennialization of the annual Moringa. So this is also quite possible, and we have found out the suitable rootstock for the Moringa also, and we have found out there are 2 or 3 species, and the compatibility studies and the evaluation, and those part now we are, some of the students are working. So in that also there is very good scope for making the annual Moringa on a perennial Moringa rootstock. So in that case, we need not remove the annual Moringa for 2 to 3 years. You can keep it for more than 10 to 15 years, just like the perennial Moringa, but we can harvest annual Moringa from the perennial rootstock. So that is the system is also simultaneously we are evaluating, and this is also one of the interesting area, and we are working on it. Next one, please. So coming to the conclusion, this is one of the area where really research is needed. And only one we have come out with the brinjal grafting technology. We have come out with the commercialization. And next, one by one, all kinds of commercialization will take place in the coming years. And the next probably will be the chili hybrid, chili grafts will be the next one coming into the field scale commercialization, and followed by that, tomato will be coming, and simultaneously the cooker beets also will be coming one by one. So here the main the advantage, not only the controlling the pest and soil-borne pest and diseases, but also how best we can conserve the requirement for the planting system. How best we can conserve the water, and those also the simultaneously the rapid the methodology for the developing the large scale production of the planting material. That also has to be simultaneously, we have to develop the technologies. Once these kind of technologies are perfected, I am very proud to say that now we are the first one to develop the brinjal hybrid technology in the whole of the country. And based on our research findings, Kerala Agricultural University, even IAR, Indian Institute of Vegetable Research, they have taken up our the research as the basic work, and they are right now they are also working on with the different the crops. So these are all the overall the conclusion of this particular technology. This is the as I initially told, the yield improvement is the one of the area where the technology should percolate in the farmer's field, and they should come out and the request for the planting material often. So that is the success of that technology. And the most of the times, in the case of brinjal from the farmers, what we have observed is that once it is available for 10 months in the field, there is scope for even 30 to 40 rupees a kg, because it is harvested for the extended duration. So the feedback from the farmers, even if it is available for 8 to 10 rupees a kg, sometimes for 3 to 4 weeks, if the price is 30 to 40 rupees, that will be compensated and the farmers will be getting a regular income. So that is the advantage of this, the perennialization of the grafting vegetables in the case of through the particular grafting technology. So these are all some of the points I would like to share